Hello everyone, we are back with another episode of LMScast. I am Joshua Millage and I'm joined here with this beautiful gentleman, Christopher Badgett, and today we're going to be talking about some marketing techniques and some ways of getting your course in front of as many students as possible. So I'm going to start this off by asking Chris, Chris, I'm curious, you've launched a lot of courses over the past few years, and what are some of the things that you've seen people run into when they launch the course in terms of what are some of the difficulties?
Well, for me and many of the clients I've worked with who are creating learning management systems and selling online courses, just the act of getting your learning management system together is a project in and of itself. But then what happens is people can get bogged down with actually creating their course. And there's an interesting way to kind of move past that and also to test the market to make sure people are interested and willing to spend money on the course idea you have, and that's just called pre-selling.
Okay, so, and I'm familiar with pre-selling a little bit. Obviously, it's selling something before you launch it, but I think your definition of pre-selling is a little bit different. And what does that involve?
Well, if you build a online courses website and a learning management system to really launch and get customers, paying customers in the door, it's good to validate your idea by putting a sales page up or putting your course offer out there. And there's a couple different ways to approach it. One is to come up with a course idea, publish it, put a price tag on it, which can either be one-time or recurring monthly revenue. And the LifterLMS plugin is set up to easily be able to do either one of those options right out of the gate. But you can put your course out there and really just have the first lesson ready, or even sell it, but the course doesn't officially start to some predefined date in the future. Another interesting thing you can do with learning management system, like with LifterLMS, is set up drip content. So maybe you have 1, 2, or 3 lessons in the clip, and then they're designed to drip out once a week. And then, lesson 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, you haven't even created yet. So that's what I mean by pre-selling. And you can do it that way, or you can just be totally open about it. Either way is fine, but be totally open about the fact that you haven't finished creating the course, and that if you buy now, you're going to get some kind of early bird discount in exchange for their trust in you to create the course as you move forward with your students.
Right, right. There's a really brilliant marketer out there named Clay Collins who, a while back before he started his company LeadPages, he was in the info product space and he created a product called the Interactive Offer. And it was a method of actually going to a list that you have already created. So that was kind of the key kicker there, is you had to have a list already built, but it was a way of engaging them to see if there was any demand for a product idea and then selling it in such a way that was very honest and transparent, but then also gave them time to create the product. So I think his formula was, there was the early adopters narrative, which was this idea that's pervasive in Western culture in particular, which is if you get in now, then you're going to win. So it's the idea of like an early investment in, say, a stock or a bond. We instinctively know if we can hit the right type of company or right opportunity early, we're going to be better off than the person who comes down the line. So there's an aspect of that, which in the case of a course would be, if you sign up now, it's not totally created, but because you're taking a risk here, I'm going to give you more of my time one-on-one or something like that. So you give someone a benefit there. There's the aspect of scarcity, which is, I'm only going to allow 50 students in, or 100 students, or 10 students. So you make sure that there's a small piece of the pie available for that first group. So it's early adopters narrative, scarcity, and then there's one other, I'm blanking on it. But essentially those were the two main pieces of the puzzle, which is, let me engage with you because you're engaging with me, and there's only a limited amount of space or time. And actually, these are things that we're looking at doing with the LifterLMS plugin. Now, the difference with us is we actually do have a full-blown plugin available. We're not selling it and then creating it. It is fully created. But we are limiting the amount of time the cart will be open from October 30th to maybe the 4th or 5th. We haven't really decided, but we're trying to capture the most engaged group because we want to engage with them over the course of the next few months up until our full-blown launch, which is going to be coming at the beginning of the year. But the reason we're doing that is that we want to make sure we have a really focused group of people that give us good feedback, and that we're building the product in the direction that adds value to their lives. So we're even adopting this mentality. I think it's really healthy. I think there's some mindset things that people have to get over, because I've worked with people who are like, well, I just don't feel like I'm being honest if I pre-sell. Well, that's the thing, though. You need to be honest in your pre-sell. You need to be honest about, hey, here's the idea for the course that I have. It's not fully fleshed out, but I have the credentials. I'm a subject matter expert, and I can speak to this content, and I just want to see if any of you are available or are interested in taking this course. Now, I think that's the thing, though, is that you have to know what you're going to be selling. So many people in the internet marketing world that you and I have been a part of for so long sell something like, hey, I'm going to teach you about Facebook marketing. And in reality, they're really good salesmen, but they actually don't know anything about Facebook marketing. And that's kind of given this whole theory about pre-selling a really bad idea. But, you know, colleges and universities do this all the time, too. Like back when I was at Azusa Pacific University, in my senior year, we created an MBA program. I didn't actually create the course content, but I managed the logistics. And it was a 15-month MBA that went all around the world. And really, we pre-sold it in the sense of we wanted to make sure we could get 10 people signed up before we put a bunch of investment in making sure we had all the locations for us to travel and setting up the tickets and all of that. And we quickly, you know, had more demand than that, and then we executed the strategy over the course of that 3-month summer, got everything ready, and then things started in the fall. So I think it's a good idea that I would encourage all of our listeners to consider when they're launching their businesses. I'm sure they have core products out there that they'll automatically be able to put in a system like LifterLMS. But I think pre-selling, especially if you have a captive audience already, is a great way to mitigate risk and also create a really stellar product, because you're getting feedback on the front end instead of releasing it and then getting feedback. So it's really cool.
I think that interactive piece is really amazing and important, because we as entrepreneurs and educators, we may think we know exactly what people need to learn and how they need to learn. But by being interactive and being more agile in our approach to developing courses and taking that feedback early on in the journey, we can course correct and really give the market what it needs and adapt to the learning styles that seem to get the most impact and engagement from the customer or student.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge, and maybe we need to do a whole other episode on the dangers of arrogance in education. But I think assuming that you know everything that a student wants to learn without getting any interaction for them is a disaster. And I think that's why we're seeing such a resurgence in certain types of education, business education in particular. You go to college and they're going to tell you what they think you need to learn. In reality, you and I both know we've been fighting in the trenches here for 4 or 5 years, and business has changed a lot from the Industrial Revolution of the last century. So I think that the professors need to hear from us about what we're experiencing and then lend their wisdom and expertise to it. So it's a relationship. It goes both ways. We need everyone. The students need the teachers need the students, and we need to open up those communication channels. And with a system like LifterLMS, it's really easy to do that. So I'm excited to get it out there for everyone, and hopefully with this little tidbit of knowledge, we get some stories about pre-selling.
Absolutely. So just to close it out, if you want to be a part of our interactive offer with the LifterLMS plugin, we just want you to know how much we value this group of early adopters and how much we're listening to what you want and what you need. And you know, we're experiencing what it's like to launch version 1 of something. But we're not going away. This is a marathon, and that early adopter feedback is just going to be really important to us, and we value your opinion. Yeah,
and let me do a couple of shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to Peter, who sent us a couple emails. Thank you, Peter. And John, who sent me a couple emails. So I'm really excited about the people who are listening to this content and reaching out and engaging. It helps us think about things. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we're hearing about the things that you want to know. We have a lot of knowledge between our team, and we need to know what you want to know first, second, third, and fourth. And so when you engage with us, it just makes this community much more robust And I'm excited. So thank you for everyone who's reached out to us. You can reach Chris at LMScast.com, and I'm excited. We're ready to spread the more good news about online education. Well,
Okay.
until next time, we'll see you later.